All right, we're going to get to gas bag Alec Baldwin's firing in just a minute. But first, back in August 2009, my good friend Governor Sarah Palin used the term death panel to describe the Obamacare board that would ration some of America's health care. The left tried to destroy her. PolitiFact named it their 2009 Lie of the Year. The Washington Post gave her 4 Pinocchios, and Time magazine declared, quote, Palin won't let death panels lie. And some prominent liberals said this.
They're just totally erroneous. She just made that up. Just like the bridge to nowhere, she supposedly didn't support. There's nothing like euthanasia in the bill.
I think that for whatever reason, despite many media outlets saying that what Governor Palin was saying wasn't true, she continued to say it. I'll let Webster define what one calls her.
Well, here we are 4 years later, and now we know that it was the Obama administration who's been lying about Obamacare, and Sarah Palin told the truth about death panels. Don't believe me? Here's liberal NBC commentator Mark Halperin.
I think they focused on the death panels, which will be coming. Call them what you will. Rationing is part of it. And
I agree. It's huge. It's going to be a huge issue, and that's something else about which the president was not fully forthcoming and straightforward.
All right, so you believe that there will be rationing, a.k.a. death panels?
It's built into the plan. It's not like a guess or like a judgment. That's going to be part of how costs are controlled.
So, hey, Dean, Gibbs, Carney, Obama, and the rest of the liberal royalty, you fellows owe Governor Palin an apology, and that seems to be a theme lately. Bob, let's start with you because it wasn't just Mark Halperin. It was also Dr. Howard Dean, who recently, earlier in the year, said, you know what, there are death panels.
Well, let me put it this way. If she's waiting for an apology from me, she better wait a long time. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a lobbyist to go work that death panel to be sure that I'm not one of the people that get the death thing marked on them. It is the most ridiculous ass. You're basing Mark Halperin on that? Is that who your source is? Is that who your source is? Mark Halperin?
What's ridiculous? Is the iPad board going to decide who gets what in health care going forward?
They're going to get together. They're going to bring all the millions of Americans together. And they're going to look at all their health situations. They're going to say, die, live, die, live. Don't get out of here. You can go to a lot of places, but this is really the bottom of the barrel. Have we not beat up Obamacare enough? But now we're going to say that, why don't we just say that they have all these death camps they're going to send people to and let them go die?
Well, that's what the iPad board is. Does anyone dispute the fact that the iPad board will ration health care?
I think you know what happened. I think Palin used the wrong words. President Obama is all about cloaking it in a different kind of language. It was a little too negative, death panels. Should have been called, should have been called burden lifters or maybe afterlife treatment. And really, when you think about it, isn't it our duty to die early if that's going to make Obamacare work? Because when you look at it, no one's enrolling. The only way it's going to work is if we thin the rolls. We have to die to make Obamacare work. And I think it's our duty. We should be the party of compassion, not the Democrats. We should kill ourselves.
Are you going to volunteer first?
Yes, I am.
Isn't it weird, though?
Isn't it weird, though? Democrats are the party of compassion. They're pro-abortion, they're pro-death penalty. So they get you at both ends, and the middle part is easy. They're telling everybody who's alive and well, you're okay. You got it this far. Don't worry about it.
We ask our resident health expert here, can you explain to me how this panel works? I mean, What are they going to ration? They're going to ration the number of open heart surgeries you can have? Is it? I mean, how does
they might?
Yes.
It's 15 unelected.
You're not getting it.
Yeah, it's 15 unelected bureaucrats who have unbinding power, who cannot be sued, appointed by this administration, who will, and this is how they're going to do it, Bob, cut reimbursements to doctors and to hospitals. And the most drastically affected are the ones who are the most expensive: end-of-life care, cancer patients. And if you don't believe Mark Halperin, let's look at the president. The president said, President Obama, the chronically ill and those towards the end of their lives account for potentially 80% of the total health care bill. We have to have a very difficult conversation about this. He also said his grandmother...
Not difficult for him.
He also said his grandmother didn't need that second hit before she died, by the way. And Donald Berwick, the president's own controversial former Medicare administrator, said the decision is not whether or not we will ration care. The decision is whether we will ration with our eyes open. Pretty scary stuff.
Okay, let me say you're going to lose your health insurance plan. I understand that, and you're going to be out there in the streets. You have to go to emergency rooms. And on top of all that, what Obamacare is going to do is it's going to decide whether you live or die. You guys live in some place in Alice.
They're going to go through costs. They're not going to look at Bob Beckel. Now, get a good lobbyist, as you point out. Maybe they will.
They're going to go through costs, and then they're
going to see who's the most expensive.
That's exactly what it is, Bob. Read it and weep. That's exactly what it is. And finally, liberals are coming around. Dana,
no, they're not coming around.
Well, a lot of
Halperin doesn't speak for
a number of liberal Democrats in the House have come around.
Dr. Howard Dean has called them death panels. Dana, one of the we haven't talked about this. I'm throwing this. I hope you're all right with it.
I'm ready.
Who's going to be on this panel? Who gets those seats?
There will be the type of people that help put together healthcare.gov, in case that gives anybody a lot of confidence. I think what they really objected to with Sarah Palin was that the fact that it's the language, it's the terminology, and it was stark and it was very effective, and that's what they were pushing back against. And now they're having, just like with everything else, we're finding out what was in the bill and actually what was being said. I do think that if you're looking to the National Health Service in Britain, death panels, maybe that language is too strong for some people, but they certainly have knee replacement panels and hip replacement panels and eye cataract surgery panels, and you could wait 6, 8, 10 months, 12 months for the government to decide if you're worthy to get the hip, knee, or eye placement.
They should make this very positive, though. Obama should take this as he should be the Grin Reaper. He should be there with a scythe, just this is what you got to do for the greater good. Because ultimately, that's what it's about. It's about the greater good, sacrificing you for this giant idea that has never worked.
What do you now that Obamacare is killing people, where's the next place to go?
Okay, let me ask you. You're the resident liberal expert on Obamacare. What's the iPad board, then?
I'm a single payer.
What is the iPad board?
I have no idea.
Then stop arguing with us.
What I don't believe is an iPad. I assume these are people that are sitting there and look at costs, like Andrea said, and they decide that there are certain costs that have to be curbed. Now, does that mean that they're going to say we're not going to have any heart-lung machines?
No.
I mean, I don't know. I can't even believe we're having this conversation. We can't go any deeper on Obamacare than say, all right, you're all going to die. You're not going to have insurance. That's bad enough. But then you're going to die because of the health panel, and the government's going to sit there and say we're going to live or die. It's ridiculous.
Can I sum this up?
It's absolutely nuts.
Quoting my good liberal friend here, I have no idea what it is, but here's why I disagree.
I had an idea what it was. What it is Bolt.
Coming up, the war.